So a lot of you had really enjoyed my video on my top 5 best games of all time. So today I wanted to take a trip down memory lane. These aren't necessarily the games that I would qualify as the best games of all time. However, they have their place on the pedestal as the most nostalgia-inducing games that bring me back to a time in my life when things were simpler, things were easier, and my main concern was leveling up or getting a specific item. Yes, we're talking about nostalgia games. So the first game is actually super nostalgic. It falls into a sort of category or genre of different games that sort of came out at around the same time. Some of them came out in the N64, some of them on the GameCube, but this kind of game really brought the people together. And the first time I was introduced to this style of gaming was with Diddy Kong Racing on the N64. I had a friend growing up and he had Diddy Kong Racing and he had an amazing epic N64 system. I think it was clear too. It was like purple and clear, so it was really epic. And any time I would go to his house, it didn't matter what my parents wanted us to do. I would run up to his playroom. He had a playroom. Not everybody was fortunate enough to have this, but he did. And I really look forward to going there because we would play Diddy Kong Racing. That was the spark that got me interested in kart-based racing games. And fast forward now a little bit, I get my own gaming system. It's a GameCube. So I bought Mario Kart Double Dash. Okay, so a little different than Diddy Kong Racing. Obviously, you have a different character set, but who doesn't remember playing Mario Kart? A bunch of you are probably still playing Mario Kart, to be honest, because it's still out on the Switch. But my personal best memory comes with Mario Kart Double Dash. It was so awesome. You got to play with 2 different characters in your same kart. And what you would do is you would sort of like spin them around the cart and decide which one you wanted to drive, which one would be sitting in the back. And each character had their own special like abilities and they had like special weapons that you can get. So for example, I remember Baby Luigi. He was one of my favorites to play with because if you would fall behind and you would hit one of those question mark boxes, he would actually get, I think it's called a chomp chomp or something. Basically, it was like this black ball dog-like creature that was chained to the front of your cart. He would just drive you forward, like fly you through all the way to the beginning of the level. Now, there's a few shells that you can get people with. It was the honing shell, the red shell, and then there's the green shell, which you have to have amazing aim and have to be really skilled to use, but also great for defense. And then also, who could forget the blue shell of death? A sure way to lose friends is to use the blue shell, especially if they're just about to win the race and you're right behind them and you shell them. The amount of times and frustrations of being in first place and that happening, whew, it really is a game changer. This isn't just like racing. This is a whole other ball game. It's a super fun game and an incredible childhood experience. Also along the same vein, Super Smash Bros. Specifically, I'm talking about Super Smash Bros. Melee. So Super Smash Bros. Melee came out on the GameCube as well. Another amazing nostalgic game for me. This was the first time I ever played Super Smash Bros. I know there's plenty of Super Smash Bros. For basically every Nintendo console out there. They introduced a lot of different characters in Melee. I think they had introduced Marth for the first time, which was like this anime character with this big sword. But if you were like me, you had one character that you mained. And for me, that was Link. Link from The Legend of Zelda. The little green dude with the elf ears. Yeah, that was my dude. If you were playing with me, it didn't matter. That was my guy. Then I got really good at playing with him. I'm pretty sure there's a single player mode, but I can't say I've ever played the single player mode in Super Smash Bros. Because the point of that game is to have your friends come over and to play and to smash. Not that kind of smash. Get your mind out of the gutter. I'm talking endlessly fighting each other. You ordered some pizza for the night, you got some wings, and you're just going to town, fighting each other and kicking each other's butts. And that feeling when somebody is like critically injured at like 999%, their player is like down and out. You literally just go out there and punch them once and they get batted off of the platform, out of the stage, and like literally become a star in the sky because you home run them. Definitely satisfying. Not great when you're on the other end of that. Now they have Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, so you can still play the game. So the next one is a little bit different. You've either played this next game a lot like me, or you've never even heard of it before. The next game on my nostalgia list is RuneScape. Yeah, Possibly the nerdiest game on my list, I would say. Also possibly the most addictive game. So RuneScape was a free-to-play MMORPG. So there was like the paid version where you could be a member and you kind of unlocked a bunch of different abilities that you can do as a free player. But what was incredible about this game is that you didn't have to download any software. You could play it for free on your computer. And you had all these missions that you could go on. It took place in like a medieval time, so you were like a knight basically, or you could become a knight, let's put it that way. You could increase your skills in baking, you could increase your skills in mining and smithing and creating armor and all this stuff. One of my fondest memories, I shouldn't say fondest memories, but one of my memories of this game was literally clicking on the same 2 rocks, mining basically. I was mining, and I would just click on the same 2 coal rocks with the aim of collecting and mining enough coal ore to then be able to smith it into armor, because coal in the game was like the basis of all smithing. On top of that, another funny memory I have of this game is it was called Lumbridge. See, I remember there was a town called Lumbridge. There was like a chicken coop area, and then there was like a field of cows. If you were looking to level up your character's fighting skills or fighting abilities, you would just sit there in the field of cows and you would kill cows until the cows came home. That would be your mission for the day, in the hopes that you would level up fairly quickly. Also, another great memory of RuneScape is there was like an area, it was called like Varrock or something. Man, how do I remember these names? I think it was called Varrock. And it was like a trading post area. Because it was like this market full of other players, everyone would have to like get their message out. Hopefully I could find a video of this somewhere online, but basically you'd have like this like text animation effect that you could do to like get essentially your advertisement for the goods that you want to trade out there. And I just remember like having so much fun, like changing my text into like a flowing wave and making it rainbow colored and all this crazy stuff that you would do. Anyhow, RuneScape, really fun nostalgic game. I have great memories playing that game. Okay, so before I started filming this video, I was trying to think of the precise moment when I became a huge fan of this game. I have 3 girlfriends of mine that I've known them since we were really young, and I think the moment was one day we had actually gone to the movie theater, we watched some movie, we came out and we went to the arcade, and we found Dance Dance Revolution. And we got on there and we had so much fun. We were giggling like crazy. And we discovered that there's actually a Dance Dance Revolution game for the PS2. So myself and my other friend, we both had PS2s. We both went to our parents and asked, hey, can we get Dance Dance Revolution, because it's so much fun. I think the reason they ended up caving in and buying this game for us, to be honest, was because they realized, well, either we let them play any old video game, or we get them a game that actually kind of makes them active. They're not just sitting in front of a screen, they're actually jumping around. There's some level of activity to it. So I think that's really what got them. And it came with like a mat that you plugged into the PS2. I distinctly remember, so the one that I had specifically was Dance Dance Revolution Extreme 2. And I distinctly remember there was like maybe 3 songs on the track list that I even had heard of. Specifically, there was one, it was the Chemical Brothers Block Rockin' Beats. I remember that one was a really good one. But other than that, it was like a bunch of random EDM tracks that were like really hardcore. Yeah, but we learned to love them and we learned to play, and whether it was at my house or my girlfriend's house, we were always somewhere playing Dance Dance Revolution. Yeah, this whole like musical style of game was just so popular, and that's a really good segue into the next one. Speaking of, there was a period of maybe like a 3 to 4 year period of time where Guitar Hero was the game to have. I remember kind of being late to it, and I was like, you know what, I don't want Guitar Hero, I'm gonna get this new game on the block, which was called Rockband. And the cool thing about Rockband was that you got a drum kit, you got a microphone, and you also had a guitar, just like Guitar Hero. Again, you had your friends over. Basically, you form a rock band. And the cool thing about Rock Band compared to Dance Dance Revolution, DDR, is that you actually had a decently recognizable track list. It was all like rock songs, mind you. And I distinctly remember I specifically bought the Beatles expansion pack because it had all the Beatles tracks. And you know, I'm not a big rock fan. There's definitely a few rock songs that I could get down with. We would just jam out. We had jam sessions playing Rock Band. I actually really loved playing the drums because, you know, you actually learn how to play the drums, the rhythm of playing the drums. I mean, at the end of the day, it's just like a drum set. It was so much fun, and having friends over to play Rock Band or Dance Dance Revolution was just amazing. And speaking of that, I'm sure there's like a Gen Z out there watching this video that's like, oh my God, make this 30-year-old woman stop talking about video games. She's so uncool. But if you are and you made it this far and you're in a Gen Z or younger even, I think they're called Gen Alpha. I don't even know. But do you go to your friend's house? Like, do you actually go to little Timmy's house and play video games? Like, how does it work now? Is everything online? Like, when you play Fortnite, do you have your headset on all the time and you're just talking like that? When you're playing Minecraft, same thing. Or is it like a headset, or do you guys have like gaming sessions at each other's houses? I want to know, like, what are kids doing these days? God, I feel old. If you have kids who play video games today, or you are a kid yourself between the ages of like 10 and 18, let's say, let me know in the comment section below. Are you actually going to your friend's house to play these days, or is it all strictly online? I would love to know that. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed going down memory lane with me. Honestly, just talking about this is making me feel incredibly old, but it is also bringing back some of the fondest memories of my childhood. And if you enjoyed this video, I'm also going to put a video down here. This is a top 5 list of my personal handpicked best games of all time. And if you want to see more things like this, then please subscribe to my channel. I will see you all next time.